Hey, YouTube Gunner here. Brief message. Apparently there was an issue in one of the mods. The octuplet batteries were erased from the original, so I will be uploading a new download of the ship. It'll be in the SMDC mods list, so other than that, I wanted to make a new video. Specifically talking about some of the defensive characteristics of this ship. Now first off, I am aware that there's the things that mention shield ratings and armor values, but this doesn't quite have that. What this has instead, it stated that it can and has gone up against 4 asserters and an executor simultaneously, without significant structural damage. It did take a bit of a beating, but it was cloaked for a bit, had its torpedoes and missiles and mass drivers go through the enemy shields, and used its insane speed and maneuverability to really just engage them one at a time, despite it still getting hit while it was moving in between. It can take an incredible amount of damage and obviously deal it. But it is not invincible. It's no Sun Crusher, okay? The structure can take a lot. It has taken the full power shot from the Eclipse, basically. But the Eclipse is no Death Star. So, yeah. Now, I wanted people to understand something. Obviously, there's that attached ship there. And yes, in the one video I didn't mention about some of the other vessels that were supposed to be in the hangars. Yeah, I know. I'm still working on those. But I want to go over what someone might think when you want to attack this. Well, first off, all the red are the point defense laser cannons. The yellow are concussion missile launchers. The green are turbo lasers, dual turbo lasers. Those are ion cannons, mass drivers. Those are heavy mass drivers, rotary blasters, octuplets. The forward firing heavy laser cannons, concussion missile launcher racks, and there's the front. Obviously, dual heavy turbo lasers, heavy proton torpedoes, the big beam cannons, and of course the heavy octuplet turbo lasers. But if you were to attack this thing, if you were coming at it, what would you first off be thinking? Stay away from the guns? Okay, but you're going to attack it. What are you going to do? You're probably going to aim for that up there. It's the obvious target, right? I mean, that is the bridge, right? But what about this here? This thing here, this bridge, that is actually the same bridge tower as an Imperial 2 Star Destroyer, yanked off, stuck here, and then more shield generators added next to it, and obviously a lot of guns stuck around it. So you would aim for that or this. But what about this? Right up front here. Actually, none of those is actually the main bridge. This is a backup bridge. This is the secondary fighter bridge. That is the primary fighter bridge. Also, there's this down here, which is the secondary ship bridge, but the actual main bridge is this. This down here. And yeah, these are not to scale, obviously. It's supposed to be like tiny. But that's the fighter bridge. This is the ship bridge. So there's supposed to be a lot of windows all over here, and just stuck in there is the actual ship bridge, heavily reinforced. And that's the fighter bridge. You would think, oh, shoot that first, or shoot that first. But no, it's actually that you need to target. And there's another one on the bottom of the ship. Okay, so there's that. Second, you would think, oh, well, it's just a normal ship, right? I'll just go down below it, right? I'll shoot it from below, because ships don't have any weapons down below, right? Yeah, there's that secondary bridge, and you think, though the hangars are weak, I mean, but this forward hangar does have octuplets by it. And this raised section, or lowered section technically, yeah, there's some weapons inside it, and yeah, there's supposed to be dreadnought cruisers and several destroyers in there. But also there's quite a few turbo lasers and a lot of octuplet batteries. And what are these octuplet batteries guarding? Main reactor. Also, the main reactor is kind of recessed in a little bit. So if you're trying to attack the ship, if you're trying to go for the main reactor, you have to get by all these octuplets. But there's also more octuplets here, and those there. And dual heavy guns, not to mention all the point defense and other turbo lasers that are scattered all over the place. It's pretty difficult to getting anywhere near that reactor. And you think, okay, well, how about this big hangar on the side? Well, you mean after flying past this gauntlet? There's the big beam cannon there. And the hangar on the side is very heavily guarded. And obviously there are fighters pouring out, but it's very heavily guarded right around it. Not to mention all the guns near it. What about one of those hangars on the top? One of these little ones here? Yeah, sure. Like, that's a good idea. How about the other one? The smaller one? That's down here. Yeah, right. So, what about attacking the superstructure in general? With all these turbo lasers, this glorious amount of octuplets and shield generators. And don't forget, those are the external shield generators, not the internals. Yeah, just attacking the superstructure to get to the bridge or the fighter bridge. What about if you want to go after this? Okay, sure, that's a great idea. Yeah, great idea trying to attack that. Now I think, oh, I got you behind it. Nope, behind it doesn't work either. All those octuplets, all these octuplets, because there's one big target, the gravity well generator. That is a gravity well generator from interdictors, but it's one of the really, really big ones because it's near the same size as that thing. So that's kind of big with all those octuplets, all these octuplets, and you can see it kind of. Obviously there's this, but there's these guns here and all these guns here. Yeah, sure, you're going to attack that. Not to mention all these shield generators that are tucked in back here. And these shield generators here, thinking, oh, this is a trench, this will be easy, right? These are not turbo lasers, these are point defense. Plus, remember, these aren't very big. And you have to fly up to here, avoid this, fly back here, trying not to hit something. While all these point defense guns are shooting at you. Yeah, right. And if you have a ship, well, okay. All the mass drivers and most of the missile racks are actually back here, not over there. Now, what about the engines? Okay, well, first off, how about the docking bay? Yeah, no octuplets, but that's a decent amount of guns. Going further, there's point defense sitting around there. But, well, there's actually a lot more as well. And some shield generators tucked inside around the engines. And again, these main engines are exactly the same engines as on Executor. And then these are the engines on the Allegiance, which are bigger than that, and these are on some Dreadnought. Oh, but you can probably see it. Yeah, there's actually a lot more guns down here. So how are you going to attack this thing? But there's another little secret, because I can't really show it here. Do you see that wall that's around the gravity well generator? That's not a wall. That's an enclosing dome. Have you ever seen a telescope, one of the big observatories? They have that closing dome come from both sides? Yeah, it's like that, only it's over a meter thick. And there's actually more than one layer. It does reduce the effectiveness, but it still is capable of operating. And it's on top and bottom. So, yeah. And I think, oh, I'll just get right behind the thing, right? Because it's weak there. Well, there's a bunch of point defense and some octuplets, top and bottom. Not much, but there's not much to shoot back here. And there is another little secret, which actually isn't shown. There's supposed to be a little hangar for fighters right here. Pretty small, though, but there's supposed to be one. Only like 72 fighters. Yes, 72 fighters, the same thing as that. Well, that also had a lot more stuff, but still. However, it was connected from a little bitty passage, so you could fly other things out there as well. Just don't turn the ship. Obviously, it would take forever, but the other bays are way bigger. So, you'd think, attack that. That doesn't work. Attack that. That doesn't work. Attack that. That doesn't work. The two target... Well, that is the backup bridge in case the other four are destroyed. Or it's for observation. The two targets you need to hit is there, not there, there, and underneath. Or you go for the reactor, good luck. You try to get behind it, good luck. There is nowhere that's really viable to attack this thing. And unlike so many other ships, because of having those increased points, it can bring a substantial amount of firepower to bear. Not to mention these guns that are only forward firing and are very rapid fire. And of course there's the forward cannons, super turbo lasers, and hyper. The super turbo lasers are gone. Yeah, that mod. That's the same as those. So I need some other one. Oh, I'm just gonna use this because why not? Here. Just because this mod really doesn't like me. There, I'll just double up. That mod going away. Ugh. So there's supposed to be super turbo lasers and hypervelocity guns. And the forward-firing, rapid-fire, heavy laser cannons that are there. All the missiles, all these other guns that have clear lines of fire at you. And don't forget, the thing is supposed to be angled. Obviously, it's just, I'm lagging as it is, quite badly, with a pretty powerful machine. So, yeah. And yes, several things are supposed to be a bit lower down, obviously. But it's difficult to place any blocks. Especially around these rotor blasters, it's supposed to be like half blocks or something like that, but yeah. But yes, that seems an obvious target. It's actually intentionally a distractionary target. That seems an obvious target. It is intentionally a distraction. That seems kind of obvious. Distraction. That's where you need to aim. And underneath. In order to take out the main bridge. Both. And the secondary ship bridge. That's the secondary fighter bridge. And that's the main fighter bridge. A distraction. Intentionally. It is a much, much bigger target, as you can see that thing's size. And that is supposed to be nearly the same size as Executor's bridge. So it's supposed to be pretty small. So that bridge tower is gargantuan and surrounded with guns and shield generators. Don't forget there's more shield generators inside. Now, other shields. There is the reinforced shield systems that are strong enough that fighters cannot fly through. Missiles, torpedoes cannot go through either. It's like the thermal barrack shields that Admiral Trench used, but way better. Plus they regenerate while you shoot at them. So pretty quickly too, so that's another reason this thing's so strong. But yeah, there are supposed to be some additional capital ships, but well, yeah. So I just wanted to mention that out there, about that being a distraction, and that's your actual target. And good luck with the other bits. I'm going to upload this, so yeah.